She was electrifying. She commanded everyone's attention. She proclaimed the Word of God. You were riveted to her. It would just amaze me because her creativity and imagination was always off the Richter scale for me. And she never asked, she just did.
If you were her kid, she was involved in so many aspects of your life. So with Team Youth, like, those became her kids too, where she's like, this kid of mine is applying to these colleges, how can I be involved in his college visits and college applications? Or this kid of mine's parent is in the hospital or sibling is pregnant, what can I do to help them? And she wanted to be involved in any aspect of their life that they needed guidance.
Chris was working full-time and raising 4 children on top of being involved in their school. She would call us and leave voicemails for our birthdays. That woman had 48 hours in one day when everyone else had just 24. She was on top of everything.
The first thing I see is her smile, and I feel like I feel what she was, and rather than being able to say it.
Very early on, maybe probably the first year that we were involved, he heard about a family whose dad could not find a job. And Mark took it upon himself to go up and down 9 Mile and all the factories there on 9 Mile, and he found this guy a job. And just walked in and said, okay, you got to show up at 8 a.m. on Monday morning, they're waiting for you. And just didn't think a thing of it.
One of the most influential people in my life is my dad. And a lot of times, even though he's gone, like instead of WWJD, I would say WWJD.
Whenever you see him, he has those 5 seconds where he makes you the only person in the world.
Mark was the kind of guy that was just always on the go. You never sat down and had a conversation with Mark. You walked around and followed him and you talked with him because he was always busy and he was always looking out, making sure that everybody who was at his house was being well taken care of.
He became someone for these kids to trust. And I think he was smart about it. I think he knew how he had to be with these kids in order to gain their trust.
I just want people to know that she was also tenacious. She never gave up on things. She never wanted to be a burden on anyone else. So she was someone who legitimately gave away every piece of herself until there was nothing left to give.
Love knows no bounds. The more you have, the more you want to give. And they were both givers.
They realized that their blessings came from God. And as a result, they knew nothing else except to give back. And that just was who they were.
There's a really good quote. So this photographer takes pictures of people in New York and gets their stories. And this one really old woman was talking about when her husband died. And she asked him, she goes, well, what am I going to do with all this love I have for you? And he goes, take the love you have for me and spread it around. And I really just kind of see that with my mom and with Mr. Zito. Like, they just had such big hearts. And it was impossible not to love them and not to want to spread it around.